Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to another little review of an FSX product. So today we're looking at the recent release from Orbx simulations for the Murrayfield expansions. So Murrayfield gives you two airports, and we're actually starting out at the second airport that it gives you today before we go on to the main event, as it were. Murrayfield is a new release, as I said, from Orbx, and we're going to do a quick little flight around the area that you get given that, because it is quite cool, the fact that you get more than just the airport. So we're going to go have a fly around, have a bit of an experience of that, and we're going to go from there. So before I get started though, I do want to say thank you very much to the wonderful guys over at flightsimstore.com for sending me the review copy of this little add-on here today. Alright, so as I said, we're actually, to start with, we're actually here at the other airport that you get as part of the expansion here. Is the Murrayfield. You actually get 033 or Samoa Field, formerly Eureka Municipal Airport. So we're going to go ahead now. One of the cool things I like about this, and we're just going to climb into the air, and you see my little Alabay R66 here, without taking out a fence. So one of the cool things I like about a lot of the Orbx products is the fact that you get more than just the airfield. You get a few more things as well. And this one here has got some fascinating history, this does. So this is a VFR Day airport, and as I said, originally was the Eureka Municipal Airport, before sort of being relegated back to being just a general aviation field, and it still has the big Eureka signs there. But the little cool thing about this one is it's got some great history. So this airfield was created literally within a few days after, or a few weeks after Pearl Harbour, and these two circles that you see on the tarmac there, these two tarmac circles there, they were actually docking and mooring points for US Navy blimps for patrolling out on the Pacific Ocean that we have just over there. So yeah, because there was a Japanese submarine attack just a few short days after the events of Pearl Harbour, so it was decided that it was urgently required that the US Navy have some protection measures there. So it became a home to two blimps, as long as some Kingfisher Scout aircraft throughout the war. And as we sort of fly away from there now and head down south to see some of this beautiful scenery that's part of the terrain pack. Yeah, it was just a fascinating bit of history. It was upgraded to enable amphibious aircraft to operate from there and taxi down, and obviously, as you can see, walking distance from the Pacific Ocean. So yeah, it still proves to be an interesting little day spot for aircraft to operate out of. No fuel there, by the way, folks. So if you're planning on getting a fuel stop there, it's not going to happen for you. Alright, so we're going to we're heading south a bit now. We're going to do the mouth of the harbour here. Turn back around. So yeah, as I say, the great part of this scenery is it adds on more than just the actual sort of Murrayfield Airport as well. You do get a few more things added in as well. So you get the full area of Eureka's town, which is just over there in front of us at the moment, as well as the Samoa, this little sort of peninsula here as well, which is known as the Samoa Township, operating along there. As you can see, it's got a great little sort of, one of the things that Orbx have prided themselves on in this and as many of their recent releases is the fact that they work very hard to blend a combination of photoreal along with actual sort of autogen and actual sort of custom placed land class and things like that. And this is one of those places where you can really tell the quality of the work. Now, I'm always very skeptical of photoreal, and I find it a mixed blessing. But when you have a developer that actually sort of does pay attention to where things are placed, like for example here, as we're flying this sort of warehouse district just here, you can see that yes, okay, they've used the photoreal on the ground, but they've also then raised up and made custom 3D buildings as well for it to actually blend in perfectly with that photoreal. So you actually get a better experience overall. And you get to see the very gridded layout of the Eureka Township as well. Sort of flying over here. Now, the township of Eureka and its surrounds is steeped in a lot of history when it comes to fishing and when it comes to logging as well. And it forms part in fact, when the township was first chartered, of the 11 lumber mills that were in the entire California region. 7 of them were all located here, and it proved to be a fairly critical part of the economy for the region, and in fact continues to be a crucial part of the economy to this day as well. Now, the island just below us is known as Indian Island, a sad part of the history of the region where there was a massacre of the local indigenous population by Eureka businessmen. And then below us we've got Day Island, and we've got a lot of all the wealthy with all their yachts are also very well modelled down here below us as well. We've got some beautiful bridges there. A little low to fly under though, so I'm not going to try. Now, coming up here, this is the sort of like mud flats. A lot of this area here, in fact, the ground that Murray Airport is actually built on, is all reclaimed land from this sort of marsh and mud flats area. The work that's been done here on these mud flats is you know what, this really shows to prove what FSX is actually capable of doing. So you've got the, you know, I'm sure it's just a trick and stuff like that, but you know what, it's incredibly well done. So you've got the mud flats in there as well, but you still manage to have the water texture as well coming through there. A little bit of texture glitching going on there. But you still get the actual reflectivity of the water along with the actual ground textures of the mud flats as well. So it's a cool little experience and a really nice effect that gets put in through that as well. Now, coming over here, as I was saying before, with the whole lumber industry being a fairly critical, important part of this. So this is one of the major lumber mills that still exists to this day, and an important warehouse and storage facility for all that lumber before it gets shipped. Now, they ship all over the world as well, so not only just for local consumption, but also for worldwide export, and much of it gets processed and shipped and stored here before being transited out onto to become various structures and things around your house all over the world. So you never know, you could be sitting on a piece of Eureka furniture for all you know already. Alright, so we're going to continue on down. We're going to have another quick look at some of this beautiful scenery before we come in for final inspection of Murrayfield itself. Just to see we'll get the overview of the airfield there, and we can see the main runway, which is open there, so 12:30, and the remnants of the original runway 527, which was closed in 1997 as no longer viable no longer safe and viable to operate from. So this is where we've got to go through a bit of the town here before we turn through that, before we do a final turn into the airport here. As I said before, this is what I appreciate when photoreal is done well, or what I define as well, because you get a combination of the photoreal, which is nice from the altitude, but you also then get the actual experience of having the actual objects there as well, so it's not just a flat world. Yes, okay, you don't get all of them, but it's still it's the fact that things have been actually placed, you know, I'm not going to say perfectly, but things have actually been, you know, carefully laid out and thought about to actually make sure that they, you know, they align with the photoreal below you. So that's a big deal. Like, you know, there's a lot of work that's gone into this airfield, and it's sometimes I think, again, it's why I like to do these when I do these reviews of scenery. I like to look for things that are, you know, a lot of people that you may never notice, but this is the thing. This is what makes the difference between mediocre scenery and absolutely fantastic scenery as well. So alright, so we've seen our township there, and now we're going to head over onto the field. So we'll do a left circuit here. Now the add-on does come with all your nav charts and all the approach plates and everything that you need for operating out of Murrayfield. Now Murrayfield has been around, was first built in 1919 as a private airfield, and then in 1930 it was acquired by the Humbertown County and became one of their major airports. And it still operates. It's got one fixed base operator, as well as maintains about 53 permanent aircraft sort of living here. No airlines service the airfield, but FedEx do operate a regular cargo flight here, as we can see one of their aircraft just below there. Look at some of the detail there. So we've got the FBOs there. So it maintains a hangar, fuel facilities are all available there as well. So we'll just turn around here. But yeah, as I said, it was started in 1919 as a private airstrip, and then acquired by the county in 1930, and renamed Murrayfield as in homage to the man who actually started the airfield as well. Yeah, there's a FedEx aircraft there. Alright, so yes, you can see plenty of parking there for your experience as well. And good old Murrayfield with its elevation written there as well. Alright, okay, so let's see if I can not screw up the landing here as we sort of orbit to here and come around. We've got our open hangar there of the Northern Air, which is the FBO. Whoop, Murrayfield. Ah! Can you tell that I'm not 100% skilled when it comes to helicopters? But as I said, I wanted to do something a little different, and I always like challenging myself, and this is a great way I find to challenge myself with to take something I'm not always on the familiar controls of. So we've got, as always, we've got the people flow and things like that we expect from. Oh, better not take out that power line with my rotor blades. I'm just going to go over that. There we go. I'm going to go over that this way. There we go. So yeah, you got all the airport buildings, things like that as well. Your FBO operations and the complete with the fueling services there, and a little guide making sure the aircraft taking care of an engine, and we've got the fuel being cleaned off there, and the fixed base operation along with the hangar there, the airport cafe there as well. So it's pretty cool to have. So there we go. So that's this is the wonderful airport of Murrayfield. So welcome. And yeah, as I said, look, it's a pretty cool little airfield. I'm really glad that this one has been released. It's again really good to see the fact that when you actually get to see airfields that are not just about the airfield, they're about so much more than that. And it's great to see Orbx continuing on their sort of recent work where they actually do more than just the airfield. They actually do the surrounds as well, and gives you that little bit extra as part of it, and makes it, just that little bit more worthwhile adding to your scenery and your experience. As I said, like, yeah, Murrayfield's great, but yeah, I almost find that the sort of bonus airport you get with it is almost cooler and better if you're exploring than this one. Don't get me wrong, it's a great one, but I love 033. I think it's just cool as well. Alright folks, so as I said, that wraps up my little tutorial of this one. As I said, like a lot of Orbx stuff, it can be a little frame and work intensive, but overall, it does have a great guide on how to adjust things like that as well. And look, if you've got Orbx products, you know the quality, you know what you're expecting, and if you haven't, you really want to be looking at doing this one as well. Now, just as a side note, folks, although this is a standalone airport, it does form part of the Northern California region as well. So it is highly recommended that you do have the Northern California region from Orbx into your collection when you acquire this airport. Now, as I said, you can operate without it. It's not it's not that you have to, but you will lose some of the blending between the surrounding terrain and things like that if you don't run the Northern California region from Orbx as well. So just something to be aware of if you are going to be looking at purchasing this one to add to your flight simulation experience. Alright folks, well that wraps up this little review again today. Thank you very much once again to the wonderful guys over at FlightSimStore.com for providing the review copy of this. This is available for purchase now for FSX, FSX Steam Edition, and P3D versions 1.x and 2.x available now from Flight Sim Store. Alright folks, thanks very much for joining. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And as always, don't forget you can always catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.